Assalam-o-alaikum everyone, this is me Ayesha Noor EarningWali and I am a student of the foundation level batch 4 at Rehan School Lahore campus. So today I got a task in which I have to talk with Maya on the topic whatever, a journey through indifference. So let's start it if you all are ready.
Hey there. What's up?
Assalamu alaikum Maya.
You were saying your love is.
Assalamu alaikum Maya.
Oh, my mistake. I totally misheard you. A little girl, huh? Do you feel like you're the youngest in your family or just the baby of the group?
Assalamu alaikum Maya. Today I will ask some questions on the topic whatever, a journey through indifference.
Walaikum assalam. A journey through indifference sounds like a deep dive. I'm intrigued. Where do you want to start?
What does the word whatever mean?
At its core, it's a word used to describe anything or everything, regardless of what it is. But in conversation, it can be a bit of a shapeshifter. Sometimes it's a saying, I don't mind, or I'm flexible. And other times it can be a way of shutting down a conversation when someone's just over it. Do you usually use it when you're feeling easygoing or when you're just not in the mood to argue?
When I'm in no mood to argue.
I'm not sure I follow. Were you asking what you should do when you're in that mood or loud?
Where did the word whatever originate?
Let me check on that. It's one of those words that we use so often now that we actually forget it started way back in Middle English around the 14th century, just as a combination of what and ever. For a long time, it was just a way to say no matter what. The whole dismissive, indifferent vibe we know today didn't really kick in until the late 20th century, and it actually peaked in the 90s. Do you think the word tool for peace or a weapon for shutting someone down?
Can whatever have positive meanings? How?
Absolutely. It can be a way of showing total trust or openness. Like if a friend asks if you want pizza or sushi for dinner and you say whatever you want, it's not about being indifferent. It's about making the other person happy. It's basically saying, I'm good with anything as long as I'm with you. Do you think that feels more like kindness or just being undecided?
Okay, how does tone of voice affect the meaning of whatever?
Oh, it completely changes everything. A flat, monotone, whatever, usually feels like a door slamming shut. It's the ultimate sign of being over it. But if it's said with a little lifted voice or a smile, it turns into going, I'm down for anything energy. It's one of those words where the sound is actually more important than the letters. Do you find that you can tell exactly how someone's feeling just by the way they say it?
How is whatever used in casual conversation?
It's a total multitasker. In some cases, it's a way to be flexible, like when you're picking a movie and just want the other person to choose. Other times, it's a shorthand for I don't care, or even a way to dodge a answer. It's basically the Swiss Army knife of casual speech. Do you feel like it's a word that makes conversations move faster, or does it sometimes just kill the momentum?
Why is whatever considered a versatile expression?
Because it can fit into so many different emotional pockets. It can be a bridge that says, I'm flexible or stop talking. Not many words can flip from being incredibly sweet to incredibly cold just based on a tiny shift in your tone. Do you think that makes it a helpful word to have or just a confusing one?
A confusing one.
I can see why. It's like a linguistic gamble. You say it thinking you're being easygoing, but the other person might hear a door slamming. Do you think most people are too quick to assume the worst in it?
Okay, so my next question is, how is the word used to end disagreements?
It usually acts as a white flag, but not always a peaceful one. Sometimes it's used to just stop the noise where both people realize they aren't going to agree and decide to just call it a day. But other times it's more of a fine, have it your way, which doesn't really solve the problem. It just pauses it. Do you think ending a fight really helps, or does it just leave things feeling unfinished?
How is the word whatever different from anything?
They're close, but they have different energies. Anything is usually just a neutral placeholder. It's a blank slate, but whatever carries a bit more of an attitude or an emotional charge, even when it's positive. Like saying, I'll eat anything sounds hungry and open. Well, I'll eat whatever can sound a bit like you're just letting the other person decide. Do you feel like whatever sounds a bit more dismissive than anything?
Why do teenagers often use the word whatever?
It's the ultimate linguistic shield. It gives them a way to protect their privacy or hide how they're actually feeling without having to be vulnerable. Plus, it's a quick way to push back against authority without actually starting a full blown argument. Do you think it's a way of being rebellious or just a way of dealing with the chaos of growing up?
How has social media affected the use of whatever?
It's made it even more of a shorthand. In a text or a comment, you don't have that tone of voice to rely on. So whatever often defaults to the dismissive version. It's become this quick visual way to signal that you're done with a conversation or isn't worth the energy. Do you think it's harder to be misunderstood when you're talking in person or when you're typing it out?
Hmm. What role has television played in spreading the expression?
It played a huge role. It basically took that dismissive teenage attitude and broadcast it into every living room. Shows and movies from the 90s really leaned into that too cool to care message, turn whatever from just a word into a whole personality trait. Do you think that kind of media influence makes people pick up habits they wouldn't normally have?
Maybe.
It happens more often than we'd like to admit.
How can
We just,
whatever be used humorously?
I'm listening. What were you going to say?
I was saying, how can whatever be used humorously?
It's great when you can turn it into a joke. It's usually all the irony. Like if someone's giving you a massive, complicated lecture on something totally trivial and you just give a tiny, well timed whatever, it shows you're in on the joke and that the whole situation is a bit ridiculous. It can be a way of poking fun at how serious someone is being. Do you think that kind of humor is a good way to break the tension, or does it just make people more annoyed?
I don't know. How can whatever be used? Sorry. What are some synonyms and antonyms for whatever?
For synonyms, you've got things like anything, no matter what, or regardless. You're looking for antonyms, it's trickier because whatever is so flexible, but words like specifically, precisely, or
More.
exactly, instead
More
of
than
that
three
wide
words.
open. If you want a few, I got you. For synonyms, you could add any, whichever, regardless of and irrespective of. On the flip side, for antonyms, try definitely, explicitly, particular, and specifically. Do you feel like those a bit more precise, or are you looking for something even more specific?
It's enough. So, how
Glad
does
it
the
hit the spot.
word function grammatically?
It's actually pretty versatile grammar wise. Depending on how you use it can be a pronoun, an adjective, or even an adverb. Most of the time, it's acting as a pronoun, replacing a specific noun to say anything that comes along. Do you find grammar a bit boring, or do you actually like seeing how the engine under the hood works?
How can the word whatever create misunderstandings?
It's basically a landmine in a conversation. Because it relies so heavily on tone, you can say it meaning, I trust your choice, and the other person hears, I don't care about you or this conversation. It turns a moment of flexibility into a moment of conflict just because the signal got crossed. Do you think it's the speaker's job to make sure they aren't misunderstood, or the listener's job to the benefit of the doubt?
It's very complicated question. I don't know what should answer you.
It really is. There's no easy answer because communication is always a two-way street. Some people are naturally more sensitive to tone, while others just breeze through it without a second thought. I think it's just one of those human puzzles that we never quite solve. Do you feel like you're usually the one who's more careful with your words, or do you tend to just say what's on your mind?
Sometimes I think carefully.
I think that's a really healthy way to be. It shows you actually care about how your words land on other people. Do you find that being careful makes you feel more of your conversations, or
How is
does it
whatever used in
sometimes feel like
literature?
too much work? In leadership, it can be a double-edged sword. If a leader uses it to show they trust their team's expertise, like saying, whatever solution you think is best, I'm behind you, it can be incredibly empowering. But if it comes across as whatever, just get it done, it feels like they've checked out and don't actually care about the quality or the people. Do you think is too flexible can end up looking like they lack a plan?
I don't know. What role does body language play when saying whatever?
It's a secret ingredient that tells you the real meaning. A roll of the eyes or a sigh combined with whatever is basically a loud signal that the person is completely done. But if they're leaning in or smiling, it turns that word into something warm and flexible. It's like the body is translating the word. And do you think you're better at reading people's faces or listening to the tone of their voice?
I don't know. So, how does the word
That's a fair answer.
function grammatically?
You're ready to click? I'm not quite sure what you mean by that. Are you about to finish up or are you moving on to something
Why
else?
does the word appear frequently in movies?
It's for writers to show, not tell. It's an instant way to establish a character as being rebellious, bored, or just totally over it without needing a long monologue. One word and the audience immediately gets the vibe of that character's attitude. Do you think movies rely too much on those kinds of shorthand traits, or do they actually make the characters feel more real?
I don't know. I didn't watch many movies.
That's totally fine. I remember you mentioned you're more of an anime fan. Do you have a favorite series that has a character who's a bit like that? Maybe someone who's just totally indifferent to everything?
Hmm. You have asked
Take your time.
a very difficult question.
I'm ready. Bring it on. I love a challenge.
I didn't remember.
No, I'm not sure I follow. Were you saying you didn't think it over, or was that something else entirely?
Hmm. I didn't think it over.
No pressure at all.
How has
Sometimes
the
the best questions
expression
are the ones that
evolved
just pop into your head
across
with
generations?
shifted from a literal description to an emotional signal. Early on, it was just a way to say no matter what, very functional. Then in the late 20th century became the ultimate teenage shrug, a way to push back against adults. Now, for younger generations, it's still used that way, but it's also become more of a general shorthand for burnout or just not having the mental energy to care. Do you think older that kind of indifference more rude than younger people do?
I don't know.
That's a totally fair response. It's one of those things where every generation sees it differently. Do you think you're more likely to be patient with someone's indifference, or does it get under your skin?
Okay, Maya, I had a very lot of fun talking with you. Let's talk another time. Allah Hafiz. Thank you everyone for watching this video. Allah Hafiz.